Welcome everyone to this episode of Food is Fuel. I am your host Tracy Knight, and we're talking oils. I have the ebook coming out, and I wanted to do a little audio on that and answer some questions that I've had in class, especially a great class last night for those who attended the pizza class. Rock and roll, you guys! You did a great job. So I wanted to talk about oils, in which you're gonna, when you download the ebook, that I'm putting together. I'm very meticulous, right? As on my information. And not to mention a little bit of delay over the weekend. My clients do come first, so I want to make sure that they are taken care of. So, with that said, without further ado, we want to talk about why we use oil in cooking. Well, oils play, and I have my notes, so I just, there's several things because I have some questions and I'm answering some things as well. We have heat transfer, flavor enhancer, texture aid, and nutrient carrier. So when you're using the oils correctly, incorrectly, that's gonna change. So we want to look at that. So when we have a heat transfer, oil distributes that heat, enabling the browning and the crisping. Now, so for instance, frying, a lot of people don't know this, but frying is between 350, 375. That's why you can use those neutral oils. I'm going to discuss neutral oils here in a minute. And with that, so it gives that texture, right? So, and flavor enhancer. So you have some oils have that a distinct flavor, like even with your peppery ones, like your cold press oils, which have that peppery note, um, or just very distinctive sesame oil, right? So you have the extra virgin olive oil, peppery, and then that is very distinctive, as we all know, and to taste is the sesame oil. Your texture age, and you have your sauces, it tenderizes baked goods, and it prevents sticking, non-stick skillet, right? And then a nutrient carrier. It's a fat soluble of A, D, E, and K. It's best absorbed when consumed with a fat or oil. So your fat solubles, A, D, E, K. So for example, A would be your red or your orange, like your yellow squash or your red bell pepper. And vitamin D, you have your dark greens. Vitamin E, you have your brown foods such as like nuts, avocado, and K is like kale. Things that how you can remember uh, what to add oil with. So a kale salad, and if you go to my blog, you can look at my kale salad, and that would be a good spot. That's a great recipe. It's a great recipe, to say so for myself. And it uses the extra virgin olive oil, that peppery, but that is a great immunity salad. Now, popular oils, we have talked about them extensively on this, and with that, you have your extra virgin olive oil. Your smoke point is going to be your 325. Your extra virgin olive oil. But you're going to have it to where it's the dressings. It's low heat cooking. So under 350 is considered like low heat cooking. On the EVOO, I try to keep it in the range of like tossing my like noodles. I mean, can cook with it. It's expensive and the flavor. I'm just more on using it a little bit more on the colder side, than on the heat side. And I would use, maybe a sunflower oil for, when I'm cooking instead. Now refined, yeah, olive oil is a little higher. It's neutral, and it is saute and frying. So you have a higher, which is 350, which we're going to look at, 465. So you can get a little higher on the higher note. Like beignets, for example, is the 370. And 465 is pretty high. I mean, and so when you're doing a refined olive oil and you're making pizza, that's the one you want to use. It's so like 425, right? So whereas let's say kinetic style or an artisan style, we would use a higher temp on that. And I like to use avocado oil. Um, and when I'm, have a 500-degree, so I like to kind of bump it up a little bit because that smoke point is about 520, 500. So and it has buttery and it's mild. and you can grill with it, saute with it, and it prevents, oxidization. So that's why it's important to understand these characteristics, but also understanding the science behind it, uh, to understand like where the flavor changes, and but also on a molecular standpoint, like where does some of these other things change. So you have your canola oil, which is 400, and a lot of people fry it with this, which is fine, right? They use beignets and stuff, but it is typically like canola oil. You'll see it in your brownie mix, baking, general use overall. Coconut oil is a refined is 400, but it's 350, so I'll bake. I'll put it in brownies. Uh, some plant-based dishes, of course, Indian dishes, etc. A grapeseed oil is your 390. It's light, neutral, searing, and put it in your salad dressing and vinaigrettes. Mix it with a balsamic, perfect. Toasted sesame oil, 350 to about 410. It is nutty and intense. Asian dishes, finishing oils is what you apply it to, is best for. Peanut oil, it is mild and slightly nutty. Obviously, 450 would be at smoke point. Deep frying, stir frying, pretty, there's some places, and make sure you ask if you have some sensitivities to these oils, what oils do they use? Sometimes some places you use an oil for frying, such as a peanut oil, and they don't tell you, which they should, but just especially if you have a food sensitivity. Of course, and then your sunflower oil being 450, and it's going to have your light. It's very, very light, and it's neutral for frying or baking. So now, demystified your different types of olive oil. Your olive oil may vary in refinement and taste. With that, we have our cold pressed olive oil, right? So we have our extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, cold pressed, unrefined, robust flavor, and it's highest in antioxidants. So yeah, with that, your virgin olive oil, it's slightly lower quality, but still unrefined than it's lower quality, just like than the EVOO. When we have refined, when you see refined, just think of a higher smoke point. Unrefined is a lower smoke point. So your refined will be better for that higher cooking. Light olive oil, it is in a it's not considered light, is not considered lower in calories, but it's lighter in flavor. Okay. And it is, at times, you have to read the label, because at times there are companies that use it as a marketing term because it's light. So read that a little bit further into your experience. It is for baking and cooking, but has nothing to do with calories. It is light on flavor, and it could be a marketing term. When using oils properly, we want to match the oils with the cooking method. High heat, frying or searing. Medium heat, saute, roasting. No heat, drizzling, dressing. Salad, right? So with a high heat, like you're frying and searing, you have avocado, peanut, canola, refined olive oil. You have medium heat, saute, and roasting. You have grapeseed, sunflower, and coconut oil. You have no heat, extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed olive oil. Toasted sesame oil would be best. And then you have your flaxseed oil. Flaxseed oil is great on salads as well. Put it with a little apple cider vinegar. It's delicious. A little oil and vinegar mix. Perfect. Now, storing the oil, you want to store it away from heat and light to prevent rancidity. And, use a paper towel to apply it on pans for thin spread, but don't reuse oil more than twice. So you can use it twice for, like, when I do beignets, I'll use the oil twice, frying it, and then I dispose of it properly, because it does break down, and as it breaks down, it can cause harmful compounds. So you have that time in which you can utilize the oil. So if you're using the wrong oil, well, as we know, we have to turn off the oil. And like if you use it, so right before there's fire, there's smoke, right? So low cook points, whatever the case might be. So turn off the heat, remove it from the heat to avoid smoke inhalation, open some windows, open the door, toss the oil and start over. And that's just bottom line. And so like say like you're cooking, you want to do, and the flavor goes wrong. Um, and you're trying to balance it out, harmonize the dish. What you can do is balancing it out with acid, so like your apple cider vinegar or like a lemon, or that kind of deal, and it will neutralize the fat in order to balance it. So, and then, or create a new type of dish, get kind of creative in the kitchen and develop it with a coconut fat, like a curry, make an Indian dish. Like you can have a whole nother experience and have a vegan lentil curry situation. And so you have that. So let's talk about another thing that I get asked a lot is choosing the right oils for your health goals. And, I get the question of what's the goal and what's the oil to use for that goal. So, like healthy heart, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil. Okay. High heat cooking would be avocado, refined olive oil, peanut. If you're doing low carb or, excuse me, keto, you want to go for your coconut oil or NCT, uh, olive oil. A lot of people are into the keto diet or low carb diet. I'm not into those things, but I know that people are, and so I want to give that information. Anti-inflammatory will be your EVOO, flaxseed oil, and they're best for cold use. Budget friendly will be your canola oil, your sunflower oil, and your blended vegetable oils. So if you are needing to watch your budget because of whatever reason, you still want to use the oil correctly, right? So the science behind the cooking oils to understand on a molecular level, we have a smoke point. Okay, before there's fire, there is smoke. So understanding this, the temperature um, is where that temperature is where the oil starts to break down and release smoke. So let's say, for instance, you've used the oil too many times. It's going to be unstable, obviously, and you're going to start seeing that it's going to change a little faster than norm. So beyond this, you want to look at, because free radicals and you have lung and irritants that may form. So think about that, right? So kind of like there's fire in front of you. There's a fire also brewing inside your body. And if you're not properly using the oil, you're oxidizing yourself. You're creating issues within the body. So with saturated, unsaturated, saturated is going to be, excuse me, my nose is just, with saturated, it's stable at high cook temps. So stable and you're saturated. Think of hard, saturated is hard at room temperature. Um, and it's going to be stable. And that is unsaturated would be unstable. So, excuse me, saturated would be your coconut oil. So saturated would be your olive oil and your avocado oil. So that would be a little unstable, but it is a healthy heart and liquid at room temperature. Polyunsaturated fat, which is going to be your sunflower oil and grapeseed. It's rich in omega-6, and you balance it with omega-3 to avoid inflammation. And so polyunsaturated, it's 3 and 6, which is PUFA, MUFA, which is a one double bond, and it is going to be your plant oils, and it's like your plant oils, and it's the LA, which is linolenic acid, LINOLEIC, and that's going to show into your MUFAs. So your that's on a technical term, but we want to avoid inflammation. So hydrogenated and oils slash trans fats are chemically altered for shelf stability. So we want to avoid those as much as possible due to the heart health risks. Some questions I've had with cooking oil. So one is, can I fry with olive oil? You can, because the frying temp is 350 to 375. But is it in your budget to do so? So can you use more of a neutral oil, a budget-friendly oil like a canola oil or something of that nature, a blended vegetable oil instead? So just remember that. What is your budget? So how do you know if an oil has gone bad? Does it smell like crayons? Is a good indication that you need to throw it away. Does it smell musty? And when in doubt, just toss, because I would rather you toss than use oil that's gross, like that will hurt you health wise too. Not only change the flavor of your food, texture, etc., but harm you in that way too. So is cold press, the next question, is cold pressed oil better? And, of course, nutritionally, yes. Cold pressed oils retain antioxidants and nutrients lost during refining process. And what is the healthiest oil? The healthiest oil is your EVOO. It tops the list due to its polyphenols and healthy health heart benefits. We have those. With our neutral oils for cooking. Neutral oils I have on my blog. If you go to my site, Skinny South Cookies, it's also on my website at tracyknight.com. And there are 10 that are excellent oils specifically for a subtle complex flavor profiles that could be affected by the flavors linked by non-neutral oils. The best neutral oils for cooking are, number one, avocado oil. This neutral oil is made from oil-rich avocados and is quite mild flavor. Avocado oil has the highest smoke point at 520 degrees Fahrenheit. Number two, canola oil, also known as rapeseed oil. Canola oil is made from canola plant. Canola oil is a common ingredient in prepared foods and works well as a neutral cooking oil. Number three, corn oil. Corn oil is made from the germ of corn. It is an inexpensive neutral oil that has minimal flavor to impart into dishes. Number four, grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is made from the tiny seeds of grapes and is suitable in recipes that call relatively flavorless oil. Grapeseed oil has a balance of different fatty acids. Number five, peanut oil. In comparison to other neutral oils, peanut oil has a slight flavor and can emit the taste of nuts. This flavor profile works well in recipes like stir fry dishes, fried chicken, yum, in the sense that it gives it that nuttier flavor, and French fries gives your flavor to your fries, right? Number six, refined coconut oil. A little drink here. Refined coconut oil, right? So refined has a higher smoke point, right? So with that, virgin coconut oil is intensely flavored, but refined versions can be relatively mild. You can use refined coconut oil in recipes that call for neutral oil. Refined olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, is not a neutral oil, but it refines varieties known as a light olive oil. And light olive oil is what is stated for is a refined olive oil. And also on the label on the back, it might even say refined. And it has a little flavor but a higher smoke point. Number eight, safflower oil. This cooking oil is made from the safflower plant and is known for its high smoke point and lack of distinct flavor. Safflower oil is usually solid, refined, meaning it can tolerate a high heat cooking, such as searing, sauteing, grilling, and frying. Number nine, sunflower oil. I use this a lot in my classes and in life. Sunflower oil is made from sunflower plant seeds. This oil has mild flavor, relatively high smoke point, making it another good choice for a neutral oil. Number 10, your vegetable oil. Generally, vegetable oils contain different nut and seed oils, such as soybean oil, corn oil, cotton seed oil, palm oil, or palm kernel oil. Vegetable oil have a neutral flavor, making them a highly versatile cooking oil. Now, how to choose the right cooking oil. Now, when you go into the store and you're like, oh my gosh, it's endless. The stuff that I see around me, what am I going to do? They're not all interchangeable. We talk about this in the classes and harmonizing and balances in the dishes. You need to know what the science behind the food is in order to know what to do for your your dish, right? So they might be inappropriate. So you want to make sure, depending on the dish that you're cooking beyond the smoke point, consider these primary cooking oils characteristics for next time that you go into the grocery store. Let's look at some ideas. So here we have flavorful versus neutral oil. Many oils impart on their own distinct flavors. Sometimes this is a desirable quality, excuse me. Um, so, for example, sesame oil, right? Whoa, distinct profile flavor. Wow, imparts a uh, Asian dish. So you're walking into the store and you're like, Asian dish, sesame oil. So you're connecting with that oil. Uh, Walnut oil, virgin coconut oil, and hemp seed oil each impart a strong savory flavor of their own. So if you're making a salad or a low heat dish, experiment with non-neutral oils such as those, which flavors suit you best. In other cases, extra flavor in the pan will muddle the dish's final composition and harmony. So watch that. And in these cases, offer neutral oils like peanut oil or vegetable oil or canola oil or sunflower oil or safflower oil, excuse me, or even corn oil because of their different flavor profiles, the difference. And neutral oils also tend to have a higher smoke point. So you have the frying. So think about what you're going in to make. Am I making today a salad? Do I want to experiment with walnut oil? Am I doing, do I want to enhance a nutty flavor? Do I want to enhance this particular chicken profile flavor? And what does that look like? But you want not to have like too much oil because then it's like not good. It's too much for the dish. The next thing we want to look into when we enter the market is unrefined versus refined oil. So after oils are extracted or pressed, they can either be bottled immediately or refined and processed. Oils left in their natural state are labeled unrefined, cold press, raw, virgin, unrefined. These oils tend to retain flavor as well as beneficial minerals, nutrients, and enzymes. However, the unrefined oils tend to have lower smoke points that can turn rancid on the shelf. Dressing, so they're best used for very low heat cooking or raw applications like salad dressing or finishing drizzles. Meanwhile, the refined oils are thoroughly processed through filtering, bleaching, or heating to remove volatile compounds that will break down in virgin oils, resulting in products that offer a neutral taste, longer shelf life, and a higher smoke point. So what is the difference between omega-6 and omega-3? Right? 369. You're like, what do I do? So fats is not necessarily a bad thing. So we got to think of that because it is a macro. We have fat, carbs, and protein. So in fact, certain fatty acids, including omega-9 and omega-3, are healthy for the human body. Oils high in the beneficial fatty acids include all avocado oil, flaxseed oil, and extra virgin olive oil. On the other hand of the spectrum, there you have omega-6, which can cause too much, cause inflammation in the body. Oils high in omega-6, like almond oil, should be consumed in smaller quantities, and that's where that trick is. So, with that said, I have examples on my, I'll have examples on my website, and a little bit more on the technical details of this omega-3, 6, and 9 and what that is. So the next thing, saturated versus unsaturated fats, stable or unstable. Saturated fats are commonly found in meat, right? Cheese, butter, and many processed foods. Saturated fats can be used sparingly. You don't eat a steak every day, right? No. Conversely, unsaturated fats or monounsaturated fats, your MUFA, commonly found in nuts and seed, are much better for you. In general, oils that are liquid at room temperature contain more unsaturated fat, making them healthier overall choice. And that's like, so you have products like butter or lard, which are going to contain your more saturated fats. So remember, it's solid at room temperature. Butter, it has a, it's a lower smoke point, but the thing with that is uh, like the melting of butter is 90 degrees, and then its smoke point is 302. But so let's think about what we're doing. So let's dive in a little bit into olive oil. So olive oil, I'm just going to put a little chapter marker here. So when you are going through this, it's one of the healthiest. People talk about all the time, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. I need olive oil. Some people drink it 8 ounces a day. I mean, some people really get hardcore with it. It does have a high content of monounsaturated fats that lower bad cholesterol, and omega-9 fatty acids, which will help reduce blood pressure and overall heart health. So heart healthy oil. So what is the difference between extra virgin, and light olive oil? Let's talk through these. When you're going into the supermarket, and it's labeled extra virgin, it is the highest quality and most expensive olive oil available. So if it costs you $26 for 14 ounces, you want to look at that. The oil is extracted by grinding and pressing olives. No other chemicals, heat, or processes are used. According to the International Olive Council, IOC, extra virgin olive oil contains a low presence of oleic acid. That's an omega-9 that's linked to the good health. Extra virgin olive oil tends to be darker in color than the lower quality oils, somewhere between golden yellow and dark green. Extra virgin olive oil has a distinct olive flavor with the highest quality oils. To me, it has a spiciness like pepper, like black pepper. Extra virgin olive oil has the perfect flavor with no flaws. I love it. I love using it correctly, right? So virgin oil, the virgin oil is the second highest quality of oil, one step down from your EVOO. It is produced in the same manner as extra virgin olive oil and has a good flavor and minimal flaws. Light olive oil is the third one. It does not mean caloric intake. It is the variety. It has nothing to do with lower calories or lower fat content. Instead, the label refers to lighter color and neutral flavor. Rather than a deep green, olive oil has a golden yellow hue to it. It keeps longer on the shelf and has a higher smoke point than other types of olive oils, but it has fewer nutrients due to the heat pressing. Now, the types of, talk about processes, we're just talking about heat process on that last one. There are your heat processes that I'm going to put a little note there. And refined olive oils undergo a second production after pressing. The refined process will often include the presence of heat and chemicals. Some refined olive oils introduce other types of vegetables into the mix as well, resulting in an overall lower quality oil. I have seen this where they mix oils in and it could be 10% olive oil. So you got to watch those, especially those grocery store brands, which would do that. Unrefined olive oil is produced without any chemical or heat extraction process, and these are thus they're higher in quality. The olives result in oil, maybe washed, filtered, and decanted, but that's it. And then finally, the cold press. Cold press is the least refined and most natural process in olive oil production. As a result, cold press oils will be higher in quality and price. Three factors that we want to consider when cooking with olive oil. When choosing an olive oil for a particular dish or flavor, there's three factors: flavor, smoke point, price. FSP. Flavor, generally, a lighter, more neutral oil is best for cooking, and a richer oil is best for sauces and finishing when you can taste the depth of the flavor. So remember, we have in cooking, we have the notes and we have like this 3D and it harmonizes and it blends through, and you're like, I can taste this and I can feel this, and you're like, ah, it's so nice. That's food. Okay, that's what that is. Smoke points, the best oil for sauteing is actually, your vegetable oil. You use the right, not olive oil, because vegetable has a higher smoke point and it's less susceptible to burning than olive oil. Then you have price. Olive oil is often expensive, and there's no reason to cook it with heat, like I said before. Instead, use less expensive oil or with a neutral flavor and has a high smoke point to cook. So save the EVOO for finishing, for salads, for those type of consumptions. What is best for oil for frying? Now, like I said, you have the frying, which is 350, 375. But honestly, let's look at oils such as um, comparing it to canola oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. A refined or light olive oil would have a higher smoke point than an extra virgin olive oil and would be the best choice for that frying. However, canola oil, right? Coconut oil, etc., will give me the more cost-effective approach for those higher smoke points. Like I say before, watch your budget. Don't go, we only use this. It is not the end all be all. All right. So we want to remember what we're cooking, why we're here, what's happening, what is our flavor profile, what's the end result, right? What is the ethnic side of it? American, Indian, like what are we going for here? So what is the best olive oil for salad dressing? Extra virgin olive oil, kale salad, right? Think of those ADEKs, those fat solubles, right? So think of those. The best choice for dressing. It is a strong peppery flavor to the mix. Even the simplest of salad dressings can be elevated by a higher quality of the olive oil, giving that finishing texture, that basic tomato, mozzarella, bruschetta kind of situation, or caprese salad, just a drizzle of the finest extra virgin olive oil. And in my cooking classes for, the summer, we're going to do like a caprese salad. It's just delicious. It's perfect for uh, cookouts and whatever, and it's healthy. So what is the best olive oil for dipping? About our hummus, like when you make your hummus and you drizzle it with a little olive oil. So again, it's a finishing. So I opt for the highest, and the EVOO. The taste and texture will be the front and center. So choose a variety that's best for the flavor. High quality oils from different regions will reflect the climate where they are produced. Whether they're an old world Italian olive oil, or a new world oil that comes from like California olive ranch, If you really love to explore the flavors of olive oil, considering having an annual kind of fun, an annual, not kind of, but it is, olive oil tasting party. Why not have like friends bring different oils? You have different dishes, do a little wine pairing, kind of fun, and do it around the fall time. So that's when the new oils come out. So that's kind of a fun, kind of, that'd be a fun thing to do, is to have like an olive oil party with a dish that your friends make, paired with a wine, make it a thing. I might even think about doing that here. So it will cut down on the cost, whether you're trying to, like, in a tasting group, like, what do you think? It's good to get with your friends and to help learn together these things and to articulate what you're tasting, because friends can help in that arena. So you'll find on my website, you'll see that chart of oils, we talk about how to cook the right oils, what is understanding. I've got some recipes that I'm going to put up on my website, tracyknight.com, on different recipes for like fried chicken, caprese salad, grilling. And so I'll have some recipes downloaded there. And so what we need to understand next is what I was looking for, the classification. So we've been talking a lot about antioxidants. So I'm going to end this video here with the oils to help you. I also have a recipe on my website, tracyknight.com, right now, that is pumpkin and walnut bread. And what this does, it helps with, it uses your different oils, but this is a gluten-free bread. Now, I put on there some links to the pans and mini pans. With that, you do need to check when you change the size of the pan, you change the time of that you cook it, and at times it also changes the temperature that you cook it at. So gluten-free traditionally takes less time, less time than traditional flours, because it's the weight, and it absorbs like crazy. But I like to use gluten-free because it's lighter in weight, but it's also faster, and I don't feel so heavy after eating it. But in that recipe that's on my site, it focuses on substituting fats, eggs, sugar, and then the flour. And so I hope that this information has helped you. Again, my ebook you're able to download that, because in this putting together recipes, sometimes I get a little lost in in like the research, because it's so fascinating to me that I go, oh my gosh, this is how this is this. So just to give you an idea, like sometimes things take me a little bit longer to push the green button or whatever and upload it, because in my mind I'm like, oh, that information, so I have to remember to kind of put the brakes. I hope this has helped you with the oils. Food is fuel, how to properly use oils, especially olive oil, because that is something that I get asked all the time. Texture, flavor, costs, all these profiles. Think about what you're cooking, right? What is your health goal? What is the smoke point that you're using? What is the texture? So what is the nutrient? Think of those things that you're doing. So why are we using the oil? What oil do you need to use? What is it cook point? What is it best for? What is the flavor profile? The science behind it, again. And you want to use the oil properly. I hope this has helped you. Thank you so much for joining.